The faster you can get the pre-writing done, the better. So by the time the year ends, you'll be able to knock this out within 10 minutes. So the first thing you do is draw the foursquare, okay? It does not have to be neat and pretty. That's not the important part. Okay, I'm going to pretend that the task, that I chose the writing assignment of what is your favorite season and why. So I'm going to put summer, because that's what I'm going to be writing about. Okay, after you decide the task you're going to choose, you have to come up with 3 reasons to support this. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why summer is my favorite season. And that's the first thing that you do. So the reason summer is my favorite season, one of them is the great weather. The second reason summer is my favorite season is because of the sports. And then the third reason is because of vacation. Now, if you have trouble coming up with 3 reasons fairly quickly, then you need to choose the second prompt that they're going to give you. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do on this is come up with, well, first let me say this. Everything that I've written down, all these things go back to summer, okay? So everything's going to be focused on why summer is my favorite season. Okay, the next part you have to do is come up with 3 reasons why for the great weather. Then 3 reasons why for sports. And 3 reasons why, well, 3 supporting evidences, I guess, is the best way. So evidence here, 3 evidences here, 3 evidences here. And they will all come here. They will all go back to vacation. This will all go back to the great weather. And this will all go back to sports, which will go back to summer. So everything's focused in on the great weather. So, well, on summer rather. So on the great weather, you can talk about you don't have to wear a jacket. The next thing you could talk about would be you can play outside. And then the third reason could be you get a tan. Don't forget your sunscreen. Okay, the next part, sports. Swimming. You can swim. You can play baseball. What else? You can also skate. Okay. And then down here on vacation, you get to travel. You can sleep in. You don't have to get up so early on vacation. And you can relax when you're on vacation. Okay, so all of this in green is the evidence for each topic that you've chosen to back up why summer is your favorite season. Okay, the next part that you have to do is come up with a transition word. This is the time where you're going to look at this and decide what order you want to put your paper in, because you're not going to have to rewrite this. Let's just suppose that you, instead of this being the last paragraph you talk about, you want it to be the first one. So you can number this one number 1. And then you decide sports would be best as number 2. And then this one can be the third that you want to talk about. So on your transitions, that will dictate what transition you use for each one. And your transition word goes up here. Okay, I'll put a T for transition. So you're going to have 3 different transition words. And this is real important because on that rubric, they look for those. They look for those transition words. So if you are used to using those, you will have a whole variety of ones you can use to put in your paper. And that's not the only place you can put them. Okay, one of the real important parts of the Foursquare is a personal story. And I tell my students that you can embellish a personal story if you don't have one, because anytime you can connect something that's personal to the reader, they're going to think that it's more interesting. So your personal story will go in the circles here. Okay? And again, if you don't have a personal story, you can always make one up. They're not grading you on truth, they're grading on how well you write. So my personal story could be the time that I had I spent all day at the pool. So a long day outside. Okay, that could be my personal story. And then of course I'll go into more detail. And then over here on sports, I can talk about how my neighborhood, we had a baseball game in our neighborhood. And then on the vacation, I'm probably going to talk about the time that when I went to Florida and I was able to really relax. So again, the personal stories, and again, you can embellish that if you don't have anything that you can write, if you don't have any personal stories of your own. Okay, the last part is where you're going to wrap everything together, and I usually do, let me see, I usually kind of do a split here, and the introduction's going to go here. Intro, and then the conclusion will go here. Alright, I usually do the conclusion first. I'm not sure why. You don't have to do that, but basically in the conclusion you're going to mention all of your topics and use a transition. So I would say something like, hence, there's my transition. Summer is my favorite season. And then I would say, because of, hence, summer is my favorite season because of the great weather, the sports, and the vacation. So in the introduction, you're going to basically say the same thing you did in the conclusion, but worded a little bit differently. You could say something like, I love summer because of the great weather, all the sports I can play, and my family always goes on vacation. So that will keep you focused in on why summer is your favorite season. And on the scoring guide, the important bullet points are, is it focused? Is it in order? Is it an orderly fashion? And does it address the audience? So if you use this, and you have to do it quickly, then you should score. We should have a lot of proficiencies and distinguished this year on our on-demand writing.